Hey guys, it's Main here, back again with another account review, and today we're going to be looking at DrunkRapture's account, who's currently next on that list to get reviewed. So let's, I guess, just dive into it, see what we have to do, what to talk about, what I'd recommend, and yeah, normal stuff, I guess. So, very endgame account I see for the time being. It's got Zenith Spelunking statue, Onyx Scroll statue. Pretty much everything that he could Zenith is Zenithed. Just low coin multi I see. Shrines are pretty decent, I'd say. Everything else I see decent stock of time candy. Bubble levels relatively low, not at the 1 million mark yet. You want to get to 1 million bubble levels specifically for tome points, because when it starts capping out when you get the 1,000 tome points available. To recommend trying to get to the 1 million bubble level to get that maximum cap for the tome points there. Most of the time this is going to come from probably Cattlecrook, just having that link, doing daily procs of that, depending on what your Cattlecrook stamp is, if it's exalted, Prisma bubble, or sorry, the bubble itself if you prismed it. But mostly Zenith Market is what I'd recommend. It probably wouldn't exalt the stamp at this point or Prisma it, the one that gives you Cattlecrook bubble levels, but I'd probably consider doing a little bit of cluster farming and trying to upgrade the Zenith Market specifically, because there is an upgrade here somewhere for bubble levels per day from Cattlecrook. This is probably what you want to rely on. And then the various multis to Cattlecrook, bubble levels per day. I believe that comes in the form of the bubble mostly. The one that gives you increased percent of Cattlecrook bubbles. There's also one from Arcade, depending if you've got that in the rotation that it was available in the arcade shop. That one would give you a percent increase to Cattlecrook bubble levels. I think there's a few other sources I'm forgetting about, but off the top of my head, those are the ones. So, I mean, just gradually over time, you'll get those 1 mil bubble levels, as opposed to you having to naturally farm this. If not, there are a few bubbles you can also try to actively farm if you do play like Arcane Cultist a little bit active while doing Cranium Cooking. You could try to upgrade the, what is it called? Summoning Essence ones. These ones are fairly easy because obviously these cap out in Alchemy at 1 billion. You realistically very easily get more than 1 billion of the essences, so Smarter Spells is one example of that. You also have Jade Coin. You can very easily get more than 1 billion Jade Coins. This does cap out at 1 billion, so you can get a ton of levels through Quick Draw Quiver, or you can also focus on Essence Chapter or Stealth Chapter, a little bit harder for people, but Crop Chapter is another one, just to get the bubble levels out of the way, to try to get yourself closer to that 1 million bubble level for those tome points. And the reason I'm mentioning Tome, the reason why it's so important, is because Tome has exploded since World 7. If you were lucky enough to finish the event shop, you may have drop rate multi. If not, it affects the amount of like bones you get, villager XP, right? It affects Tome Epilogue, so getting more Tome points will affect Tome Epilogue as well as base Tome. So it's really, really good to just farm out points for to go ahead and get a little bit extra stuff for your account. So that'd be damage multi, drop rate multi if you have that, or any of the other things that came in the form of Tome Epilogue, right? So really, really good. Other things I'd probably aim towards, if you're trying to do some tome farming, getting to that 0.1% or getting to 0.5 or even 1%. Bubble level is a good start. Obviously, we talked about that, but trophies is another thing. Depending if you have Megalodon trophy, depending if you have Baller trophy or 9 Darts trophy, could be something you want to try and get if you want to get a little bit extra tome points, because trophies do give you a fairly significant amount of tome points compared to the potential effort you could put into it, right? At no point in my time playing Idleon have I gotten Megalodon trophy, nor do I intend to. Megalodon is just such a pain in the ass to get. I will not get it, but if that's really something you want to do and try to get 0.1%, this is probably where I'd start in trying to, try hard Megalodon and get that trophy out of the way. I'm not sure exactly how many quests you have to complete left on your characters, but unique quests completed may be something to do. I can't remember the exact number, but the total amount of unique quests from when I was playing, I think I remember 325 is where I was, or 324 or something like that. So you can probably get a few more quests completed for some more tome points. Slab items, obviously something you could do. Most commonly I see people miss or neglect dungeons, which I don't see you've done here, so it's pretty good. I think the lava diamond double pendant is something you can actually get These card packs you can get, except the dungeon card pack, obviously, from the gem shop. This is reclaimable via quest, so you can go to your completed quest in your character, see which one's completed. I think it's a World 1 quest for small material pouches, either from Scripticus or from Hammy. That gives you the small material pouch, but you can reclaim this, go talk to Slab, get it registered there, be all hunky-dory. The opal ones are also fairly easy. Some of the other stuff, like dried paint blob and grave bullet, this comes from the treasure hunt quest line. I think this is probably Yonder Green. No, Bilber. This vote as well, fairly easy. Speaking of trophies and points for Tome, King of Food trophy, this is a relatively easy trophy to complete. Same with Yum Yum Sheriff. Those are both pretty easy trophies to complete. Very easy things you can register with Godfrey as well once you do get it. It's also more Tome points, and also, as I mentioned, Slab as well, fairly to So if you have the opportunity to, go ahead and try to complete the quest line for King of Food, try to get Yum Yum Sheriff done, to try to get those two trophies registered for extra Tome points, but also Slab completion. Some of these opals are also alchemy specific or just hyper opal specific, so you can go to the alchemy shop and buy out the opals that you get from it to help you level up, register these for Slabs. So you just got to keep up tiering, for example, like the Dementia Opal of Magisterial Metals or Dementia Opal of wow. The pop opal, obviously, just Gigafrogs. That's where that comes from. Active ES you can do. Candying is not actually recommended for this, in my opinion, depending. But I saw your Tome is like 2,000 extra drop rate, so I would probably active farm Gigafrogs on ES as opposed to candying. The reason I don't recommend candying is because every candy you use can only yield you one opal. No matter how much drop rate or AFK gain you have, you can only get one opal when you do use time candy, just FYI. So active farm ES, especially now that you have 2,000 plus drop rate. I imagine that you can complete this opal specifically for Slab very, very quickly. Same goes for Platinum Opal Construction and Dementia Opal Construction. I think these both drop from World 3 Crystal Mobs. I can't fully remember. If not Alchemy. I know the pop opals specifically do come from Alchemy. Or sorry, not pop opals, the card opals, what I mean, came from Alchemy. So you can Alchemy shop farm pretty much every day to try to get these opals and try to get them up there. But these are more or less just time investments. Some of them are a lot easier than others, like the Agi Opal, Luck Opal. These are monster drops versus some of the others, like the mining, chopping, catching, and fishing, for example, are Alchemy shop specific. So that might be something you want to do. The elite class swap token, I can't remember if this was taken out of the gem shop. This might be something you can get from the gem shop or limited time shop, so watch out for it if it comes back. Again, just very easy Slab. This gift miss box is from a different event, I believe. There's, I think, 3 or 4 different iterations of a box type item related to the gift miss event. So this obviously isn't this year's rotation. Could come back in a different rotation, but if you missed it, you missed it. Oh well, move on. I think I'm trying to think of anything else. I mean, other than I guess like Meteor Hat. Yeah, I guess I can't really think of anything else besides obviously these tokens right here, right? So I mean, there's quite a few items I see you can knock off here for Slab. And I guess while I'm here, I mean, power is also something that comes from Slab. So I highly recommend, just doing your Slab to help you get more power, to help you progress. Spelunking, you're kind of prepped for future updates, right? Farming, I see you're at 280 crops. Kind of all farming is nowadays is once you get those metal crops, you can fairly easily complete 280 crops. Might change obviously with a future update or something, but the only real progress you can make or get from farming nowadays is probably just the superior crop research upgrade from Deathbringer, which takes a lot of bones to upgrade. I think I was around 150 or 160 recently with superior crop research. So I mean, getting it to 200 is just out of the question. But you can get higher bonuses from Crop Scientist Pencil here, and that exotic market as well. When it comes in, eventually comes in rotation, you'll be able to upgrade, superior crop research, or rather increased bonuses from Crop Scientist Pencil to level that up. Get more drop rate out of it, more spelunking power, and I guess pet rate as well. Kind of a niche topic. Maybe if you don't have level 20 shiny pets yet, could be something you want to do. Maybe some of them. I guess When it comes to shiny pets, the biggest things I want to see done are the bonuses from all meals, which you've completed, efficiency for skills, which you've completed, base critters from traps. While it's not useful right now, this could be useful in the future, just because the base critters is also a multiplier for EXP for trapping. Also gives you more critters, so if eventually we get a new critter, getting that vial to 13 will be that much easier. So kind of future prep. This is fairly easy to complete. This is only 2 of these, so you can kind of split up your fence yard. It's like 13 or 14 of each of these to complete that probably within a day of like active windwalker farming, right? What else? Infinite star signs, just a future prep for future updates. Getting this to 20 is a fairly good idea. Faster refinery speed, who cares? Drop rate's a good one. Multi-Raptur's also a good one, even though it's nerfed in World 7. Getting that maxed out's pretty good, which you've done, which is pretty good. Minimum time for sailing. This has become a little bit more relevant now that World 7's come out, especially now that we have those like Davy Jones gem shop things. We can get much lower than 2-hour minimum time for sailing. So this, is something worth, considering, in my opinion, because you're at 280 crops, and probably you can eventually grind out whole and get more of the lamp bonus for shiny pet level up rate. I would just try and get most of your shiny pets level 20 anyway. Start with the more impactful ones that we've already gone over, and then just move over to like the less important ones, like the base stats, for example, or kind of, who cares, right? But just getting it to level 20 is nice, and I think it also counts for tome points. Additionally, breedability is also something you can probably do. Oh my god, a lot of your pets are at 8 already. You can probably get them all to 7 fairly quickly, to be completely honest with you, because this is also impacted by the V-Man enhancement that makes active Windwalker farming very, very possible. So I recommend probably getting the rest of your pets here that aren't at 6, getting them to 6. So if they're at 7 applied threshold, so you have a few pets that are at 6 in breedability, you can get those up to 7 and just kind of be done with it. The recent 7 is pretty good because the achievement, so naturally people want to get most of their pets to 7. You can go beyond that, but every level you get in breedability doubles the time you need to level up that pet. So going from 6 to 7 will take roughly 421,000 days. Obviously, it gets multiplied by your breedability multi, by the V-Man enhancement, right, when you active farm it, and the amount of pets you have in the fence yard that are of that pet. It'll go from 421,000 to 840,000 or something like that, right? If I go to threshold 8, you'll see, oh, sorry, I guess it's even more than that. Never mind. I guess it's more quadratic than anything. Anyways, it's just, yeah, it going from one level to the next just takes a lot more time. Apparently, it's more quadratic than doubling. So yeah, I guess go to 7 and just kind of stop there. And then probably focus more on your shiny pets, if I'm being honest. Anything that's 20 apply threshold, you have a fair few amount of pets left. I guess star signs is also star sign, like talent points, star sign talent points. Those are also fairly good for not fairly good, but it's like okay for tome points as well. Total amount of star talent points is a measure in tome, so you could try to do that as well. Anything else? Sigils, if you complete sigils, yes, you have. Sigils are fairly easy to complete nowadays with sigil syrup, which is a spelunking item that you get. Fairly easy to complete all this, so good job on that. Vials, going back, I see a few vials here that you can try to complete to 13. Notably the Scale on Ice, which you're trying to complete, the Crab and Mace, getting a print of those. Obviously, I believe you've already done this with Scale of Ice, but getting a print of those to try to get those level 13. I tried to get the Hamster Vial to level 4. I don't believe this is 4 yet. But you can also try to get more levels out of Pearl Seltzer, not necessarily trying to go for level 13 of the vial. Although I think you're within a range, probably in the next few weeks or months, I'd probably aim to get this vial to 13, just because that is possible nowadays. Just requires a lot of time candy, so I'd probably recommend waiting until you get a 0.1% name tag from the gold candle from the Christmas event or the Giftmas event. And I'd probably wait till you get more AFK gain multi. I guess you probably look at your COD free, your gallery here, and see if you have Reliquarium, which you do. Okay. Yeah, I'd probably wait a little bit until you get the Tome Legend name tag from the Giftmas event. You can use that to your advantage and maybe push the vials like level 9 or 10 or something. I'm not going to say the meme there. You could also, I guess, once you get that vial done, you can also try to get more gold cakes on your character, because that's also a great way to scale drop rate. I'm assuming most of your drop rate, your cakes are on one of your DKs, right? Yeah, 3.65 mil. So people ask me how I get up to 17 mil, food. A lot of that comes from mason jar stamp, getting lucky with mason jar stamp hits. So yours at 196 is fairly good. I would, there's not really much you could do. You could actually candy this, to be honest. 3.7 mil glass shards is not that daunting considering you have 2600 plus drop rate. I don't know how much fighting AFK gains you have, but you could potentially get this by candying. I wouldn't really recommend going past 200, to be honest. I'm not sure what a 90% cost reduction would look like at your stage for 204 or 208. I'm sure I could check, but I can see the worth in candying this. You would want to candy this again on a DK or Deathbringer because they have more gold food effect naturally as a warrior, thanks to the orange cauldron multiplying Shimmeron. It's also warrior talent for gold food effect. Those are naturally the best for candying. Gives you more AFK gains, more drop rate, right? So you can get more glass shards that way. So you can get more glass shards, level up this vial potentially, or just kind of wait for this to get hit a few more times by No Stamp Left Behind. Try to get this like 210, 220 plus, right? To try to fit more food on your character. Other thing is I often don't see people upgrade their bags necessarily. I don't know if there's much support yet for the World 7 bags, but make sure to upgrade your food pouch to increase the carry capacity there. Also make sure that your prayers are set to not Zerg Rush again, but the other one, Rucksack Prayer, to increase your carry capacity, because that'll allow you to fit more food on your characters. And fun fact, you can also kind of snapshot the carry capacity. So if you take off Zerg Rush again, put on Rucksack, put on the gold food, and then take off Rucksack, your food will stay in your food slot. So you don't have to worry about it getting deleted or being removed. That'll stay on the character. So you don't have to worry about the carry capacity kind of going away if you just swap prayers. So if you haven't done that already, make sure to equip a Rucksack just to equip more gold food. And then if you want to go on Zerg Rush again, you can take that off and put that on, do whatever your character was doing. Cool. Okay. I guess let's talk about stamps, maybe. Kind of glossed over this when we talked about Mason Jar, but all these are fairly good exalts. Honestly, at this stage of the game, there's not really much to talk about exalt stamp wise. Let's talk about bubbles, maybe. Fairly decent exalts here, or prismas here as well. Chef, Zero Purple Shimmeron, good. Carpenter, good. Tachyon, good. Double Pagey. So double Pagey will hard cap when this reaches 90%. So once it reaches 90%, you can't really get much more out of it. I believe 90% was the number to aim for. I would, it's not a terrible exalt. I think in terms, Prisma. In terms of Prisma, I'd probably rather see Spelunky for that spelunking efficiency, but it's not end of the world. Double Pagey is, fairly good for your characters. Multi-page chance. This does actually affect AFK. I did some testing. I confirmed this does affect AFK, so it's not necessarily active. So this isn't a bad Prisma. It's probably lower than Spelunky in my opinion, but fairly good nonetheless. Yeah. Cool. I guess not really much else to talk about there. Talk about vials already. Let's go to World 3. Let's talk about Refinery. I guess this is more of a hot topic recently, but yeah, I guess depending if you have the Panda pet or not, I would probably recommend trying to level up Redox Salt a bit more, especially if you're trying to get vials to 13. This is a good one to try to get to 13 because you need more levels into it. So getting more levels of Redox Salt here, getting more levels of Explosive Salt is going to help you out in trying to get those vials to 13. Honestly, getting into 1000 to 2000 level of Redox Salt is roughly when I was able to get the vial to 13. And Explosive Salts, I think, was much, much less than that. But it had been on auto refine for a very long time anyways. But also getting it to 1000 couldn't hurt for getting that vial to 13. And obviously way down the line in like a few years, maybe Purple Salt's getting that to 13 for that giant monster spawn chance would be fairly good. Obviously is not obtainable right now, but if you have the Panda pet, it's a little bit more conceivable these days than it was, I guess, before. Kind of depends. because I think Refinery is also kind of shadow nerfed when the Giftmas event came out. I think if I remember correctly, with people with high enough level of like redox salt or explosive salt, the cycle time or the total amount of cycles capped out at 4, whereas before it didn't. Like it used to like level it up instantly when the Refinery cycle hit for some of those people in like really high Refinery rank. So 1 cycle was a level up for redox salt, for example. Now that's not possible. It's 4 cycles minimum. So kind of a nerf there, but you're not nowhere near that cap, so I guess that's fine for you. But yeah, it's a little tangent, little side tangent there. Eventually, purple salt will be doable. It's going to take very, very, very long time. I don't know anyone that has the purple salt vial level 13 yet, but it's something to prep for in the future as a possibility, right? I guess let's take a look at your printer, because I want to take a look. 158 trillion, 421 trillion, 1.8 Q. So okay prints. I say okay. I guess the only thing that would really help you for getting higher copper ore or chopping prints, right, it's going to come from the monuments. So bravery, getting more mining efficiency, getting more bravery bonus multi eventually. Trying to put more hours into bravery is probably what I recommend. Trying to go for that 100,000 is a good magic number. The reason 100,000 is good is because every 6 hours you put into bravery will give you more bravery sword damage. I can't remember the exact minimums. It's in the engineer schematic somewhere in here. So you go take a look at yourself. But every 6 hours will give you more sword damage, means you could potentially hit higher waves of bravery, which is where you start seeing bravery bonus multi. I think roughly wave 47, around 47 is when you start seeing it. Same thing, I guess, wisdom, obviously trying to push and get chopping efficiency and wisdom bonus multi, so you can get higher prints of your oak logs, rather. Justice, not necessarily something to focus on in terms of catching efficiency, in my opinion. The biggest thing here is probably just class EXP and justice bonus multi, in my opinion. Those are the 2 things you kind of want to focus on when you see a justice run. Outside of that, obviously essence gain, that's obviously pretty good. Future prepping, sailing updates, the artifact find chance is also okay. Not necessarily best, but you can also put points into monument AFK game that comes up. Obviously will help you with the other monuments. And I guess talking about it, the other ways to kind of scale monument AFK gain is going to come mostly from summoning. So pushing endless summoning. If you get the Timmy Hug achievement, they'll give you flat 10%. The jars, the Minecraft gem, is also a good one to try to farm out and try to get levels into if you're trying to do monument AFK gain. Honestly, at this stage of the game, I'd probably recommend sticking your characters into bravery, because we don't know at one point in the future we're going to get the monument multi again from the meritocracy bonus, but that would be a good one to look out for. So highly recommend it. And when that comes around, it's a great time to do your bravery, do your justice, or do your wisdom, because that reward multi will get massively multiplied. So if you have a 5x or 5.3x multi or something, this will go to 200x reward multi. So whenever you see bravery bonus multi, then instead of it being like level 10 or 20 or whatever, it'll be level 200, maybe even 1,000, depending on how high your reward multi is. So it's really, really good. It'll like instantly catch you up to essentially what was months of progress for people doing bravery in the olden days in World 6. So you have a lot to catch up on. That bravery bonus multi is going to skyrocket your mining efficiency. And also when it comes to prints, another thing to focus on is obviously there's 2 things: Dragon Warrior statue and mining power statues. These are massive for your prints as well. It's obviously not just Dragon Warrior in mining, but there's also Lumber Bob, there's also Old Reliable, as well as Ocean Man. On top of that, since these statues are Zenith, I could also recommend probably putting more points into True Zen here. That's higher bonus from Zenith statue. Pretty good, because that'll help you a ton in getting higher bonuses from that, so getting higher prints on your characters as well. Yeah, cool. World 6, Beanstalk, good. Emperor 131, fairly decent. Summoning, endless summoning, 252. So you haven't done endless summoning probably in a while, I don't think, right? Yeah, I mean, these are all fairly low. I'm just gonna explain why your monument AFK gain's fairly low as well. So you have a few things that you can get. So 256, obviously, if you win your bonus, this will help you a ton with everything summoning related. Some more damage on your characters, more player drop rate, more AFK gain. This will, I think, also impact the meal bonus you get. So there'll be more gold food effect on your characters, meaning more drop rate, more AFK gains, more damage, right? All that stuff. Just winter bonus is like insanely powerful. This will not give you talent book level, contrary to what some people may think, but this does not affect that at all. It's just a fair few things. There's just like a small amount of things that aren't affected by winter bonus. So that talent library thing is not affected, but things like I believe meal bonus are, and I believe the drop rate and AFK gain are as well. Equinox max level, obviously the main reason why people push endless summoning is because of that, the meal bonus and the winter summon bonus. The monument and AFK gain here so also help you with the bravery monument, trying to get more levels out of that. Spelunking power is obviously a more modern day example why people push endless summoning, because more spelunking power, obviously really good for your account. Yeah, I guess the amber gain as well is also nothing to scoff at, right? So yeah, I guess just keep it on. If you haven't yet put essence doublers on your summoning doublers on your essence generation, I recommend that. The Discord does have a section in the organized tips and tricks section for what to put your endless summoning doublers on. I recommend you kind of have a split of damage and essence gain right now. Probably wouldn't do that. I'd probably just do one or the other. To help you get more damage in the future. You want to focus on essence generation now. That way in the future you can focus on damage. You kind of want to flip-flop between the two, especially if you're limited on summoning doublers. If you're below 30 and you haven't been able to focus on one particular setup for essence doublers or summoning doublers rather, I would just stick to the two setups that we have available in the Discord as kind of recommendations of what to put on, right? If those of you yeah, I guess just join the Discord is kind of the thing. Cool. Legend talents. I think you're. Yeah. All this is not bad. Not bad. Yeah, all this is fairly good. Nothing I'd really recommend that you really buy necessarily, but if there's anything to look out for, I'd probably recommend Blessed Be Thy Luck. The blessing bonus is actually fairly significant. You can also try to get Charms Got Riz. Both those things will kind of help you push into Mastery 7 for sneaking, which I guess going back to the beginning of the video, we talked about Tome and how that's important, right? The total account skill level is one measure in which your account is measured. And account skill levels is one of them. A lot of this comes from construction and also sneaking. So getting more sneaking levels, aka pushing higher mastery and farming on the ghost floor for EXP, is primarily how people get to like 80,000 skill levels these days. Sneaking just provides a ton of EXP. Roughly, you can get 1,200 across all 10 different characters, right? It says 12,000 skill levels from sneaking alone. So you can get fairly decent amount of account skill level. And also going back to the whole bravery sword damage is also scaled by skill level, right? If you look at the measure, one of the scalers here for this measure bonus is all skill level. Also down here, all skill level affects your monument AFK gain. So it'll help you doubly with the whole, specifically when it comes to bravery and getting more bravery hours. And just generally, it's also a pretty good measure for your account and trying to get more tome points out of it. Okay, DrunkRapturE, I think I'll go ahead and stop there. Roughly 30 minutes for the account. Well, fairly good account, obviously. It's just, a few things here and there you probably want to focus on. I think for me, probably the biggest thing I'd reorient my focus and attention on would be getting higher prints, and a lot of that's going to come from statue farming, considering probably doing a bravery run, try to get more bravery multi because you don't have any yet. So you can get, that'll not just impact your prints as well, but also affect gaming if you haven't completed it yet, or at least gotten most of the duper bits, which you haven't yet. It'll help you get more gaming bit multi. You have a billion nugget, right? So probably just bravery is a good source of gaming bit gain that you can try to get this last little upgrade from for Timmy Talented, because that'll be fairly decent for your characters, right? At level 1201. Getting +7 levels on your minimum talent levels, fairly significant. So trying to push that 9.99 trillion blue bits, very, very good. And bravery bonus multi will just set you so much closer to that goalpost, right? So wish you the best of luck, man. Thanks for the account. As always, have a great day. Bye-bye, guys.